Good afternoon, Dan from Rhubarb Car Sales. Welcome back to the channel. It's Thursday 24th of April. I've had a funny old day. So sales have been slow at the minute. Obviously with kids' holidays and Easter weekend, it was kind of expected anyway. I didn't expect to be doing much recently, but I did say to my wife I'll be busy this weekend. I said I expect to be busy just because I've put 8 cars on Auto Trader and I've priced them all right. I've priced them all to go 1995, 5995, that's under Auto Trader. Auto Trader value at 6195, I've got it at 5995, that's on Auto Trader fair price, that's at 3750. I've got the Skoda back, so that's back from paint. So if you remember, all that were corroded. That's lovely now, made a lovely job of that. Oh, he could have done a bit better in there. Might get him to tidy that up a little bit. Not why he's done that. We've had that back bumper corner painted. That's been done, and all the alloys. So we've had all the alloys refurbed. Made a nice job on the alloys. So tidied all that up. And then me and Rich did the sills ourselves in some Tetra Seal. So that's my job tomorrow, is to polish all that up. I'll do a full length cleaning video on that tomorrow, because a few of you have been asking me about what products I use and I've not done one for a while. So, and if you haven't noticed, I've got a new fancy camera. I was going to do an unboxing video on it, but I got a bit too giddy, I couldn't wait. So I've got a new DJI Omo. It's like a bit like a GoPro type thing. So you may notice some difference in sound quality or video quality, I don't know, but mainly because, like on my last video, I've been running out of storage on my phone. So yeah, I've got a new fancy pants camera, been treating myself. So I'm walking around with a selfie stick looking like a professional. I almost look like I know what I'm doing. As you know, I don't. Winging it every day. So yeah, today, funny old day really. I weren't I booked today off work. I should have been at work, but my mum had a hospital appointment this morning, so I booked day off to do that. Sat at my mum's just having a coffee. Gets a phone call. Hi, I'm just down at your pitch having a look at one of your cars. Can we have keys? Can we have a look at it, please? I said, oh right, okay. I said, where have you seen it advertised? Oh, Auto Trader. I said, which car is it? And it was a Fiat 500. I said, all right, okay, yeah, that's fine. I said, it does say on advert though, viewings by appointment only. I said, are you local? Where have you come from? And they come from Halifax, which is a good 45 minutes away. I said, right, I'll be there in next hour. I said, I'll have to go home and get the keys and paperwork, etc., but I'll be with you in next hour. Yeah, not a problem. So anyway, went home, got the keys, got the paperwork, came back down, and there's another couple, well, there's a couple stood here looking at the Mazda 6. So I said, hi, are you okay? Did we speak on phone? Have you come to look at the Fiat 500? No, not us. So just by pure chance, I dropped on another couple who were looking at the Mazda 6. And then they turned back up, so I had 2, give them both keys and whatever, showed them all paperwork, took them out for a test drive, and as you might have guessed, it's gone. Had it MOT'd yesterday. I put it on Auto Trader without pictures, but I just put in the description, I said, if you're looking for one of these cars, this is the best one available. I said, don't miss out on it, give me a call, stacks of history, blah blah blah. I said, come see this one, and within 24 hours it's gone. It was a fantastic car. Lad who bought it, we're over at moon with it. He said we've been and looked at some right bangers in this price range. So he full asking price for it, 3.5, which is really good money. I think when I bought that car, when I checked Auto Trader, it only said it was worth 2.5, and then that's why I put it on without pictures yesterday. I quickly checked it when I got it back from MOT and it had gone up. It said it was worth 3.5, so I thought, you know what, stick it on. And that's what I did, and it sold within 24 hours. Haven't even took photographs, first time ever I've done that. So I was chuffed to bits with that one. Even though I'm gutted to see it go, because it was a lovely car, but I've made good money on it, and it's gone. Paid 1,200 quid for that. 1,200 quid for that, and I think we spent, I can't remember, we didn't spend a lot on it. A couple hundred quid on service and MOT. I think it might have owed me 1,500 quid maybe. So yeah, might be a £2 grand profit on that. which, you know, he's happy he's got a cheap car. The guy who bought it, the guy who sold it to me were happy because he got good money, and I'm happy because I've made good money. So there you go. And then the 500 people turned up, and yeah, we went out for a test drive in that. They're looking at that for their son who's about to pass his test. They want him in something a bit bigger, a bit safer. Love it, love the car. They did say to me, we were a bit dubious with all your good reviews. We wondered if it would, I asked my friend, do you think it's a scam? Which made me laugh. I have heard that before. I think somebody in my comments put that before, but sometimes good reviews put people off. How strange. Can't win, can you? So no, but lovely, lovely people, really nice family. They've gone home to look at some insurance quotes because the first quote they got was £6,000. So they've gone home to shop around, and hopefully they'll be back in touch over at weekend, which will be nice to get that moved on. And right now, to be honest, I'm just going to do some gardening. I've got all my car wash stuff down there, but I need to do some de-weeding. I noticed down here it's a hell of a mess, so I'm going to get on and just clear this up a little bit, tidy all the cars back up because they've all been moved and jiggled around, and then tomorrow we'll get on with the Skoda Fabia cleanup. We'll do a full length video on that tomorrow. Right, nothing else to report. Well, let's reconvene tomorrow. Good morning, we're back on Friday morning. We're hoping to have all day down here today and just crack on, but unfortunately my dog's not very well. He's got an ear infection that's not clearing up, so he's got a vet's appointment at 11:15. Daughter finishes school at 12, so I'm going to have to shoot off at dinner time. Wife's going to take dog to the vets, and I'll sort out the little one. So I'm going to have to break off at dinner time, which I'm a bit gutted about. But as you can see, you've spoken, I've listened, I've turned all the cars around, I've had a good clean up down here. Spun them all around so that the prices are facing the road, and to be fair, I drove past this morning, it did look semi-professional. Quite a good line up there, so I'm happy with that. We've just got the black Qashqai missing because it's down there having the wheels refurbed. Done a bit of weeding yesterday, had a clean up down here. So my plan was to get all these washed today so that if anybody rings over at weekend they're kind of ready ready to go, so that I don't have to come down and rush about. Supposed to have an old chap coming down this morning to look at the little red Ibiza. He bought a Volkswagen up off me in September, traded in a really nice Seat Altea, which we sold straight away. And I always thought, I've had a couple of people do that where they've traded in a car that I thought, well, that's a better car than what you're buying. The Altea were better than the Volkswagen up that we were buying. Don't get wrong, there were not wrong with a Volkswagen up, but I'm just a big car person. I like big comfy cars, and I think once you've had a big comfy car, even though he was saying to me, oh, my wife's passed away, this and over, I don't need a big car anymore, I always think once you've had a big car, it's very hard to downsize to a little roller skate. Anyway, he's rung me up and he's done 2,000 miles in it, and yeah, he's decided that it's not for him. He can't get used to it. Nothing wrong with car, he just says I just can't get used to it. So anyway, he's popped down and he's seen the Ibiza when I wasn't here, so he's interested in that, which it's going to be hard to deal because, like I say, he's only had it 6 months or whatever it is. He's done 2,000 miles, but he's going to lose a lot of money on it, and he's swapping it for an Ibiza that's not much bigger, same colour, similar miles, same price as what his is now worth. So it's just going to be very difficult to deal. You know, I'm thinking about 3,000 quid for his up when he paid 4,495 for it, which would be fine if you were buying a car like the Qashqai. If you were buying like a car of greater value, we could do something. But when he's wanting to just swap it for something of similar value, it's going to be very hard to deal. And I don't think it's going to be worth him losing 1,500 quid to trade up to something that's not much bigger, same miles, pretty much does the same job really. So I don't know. I'm gonna we'll see what he thinks. So I'm gonna get on anyway. That's going to be the first one I'm going to wash today. I did say I was going to do a deep clean on the Fabia, but with me getting cut off at dinner time, I want 8 hours to get on with that. I don't want to be cutting off and coming back to it, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to try and jet wash them as many as I can off before I have to break off for dinner. And I'm hoping to get the white Focus back today as well. You were on with that yesterday, so I'm hoping that goes through MOT today. I don't think you guys have seen that yet, but I quite like that. I think it's a good little value 2495 car. Right, let me get on. Right, there we go, end of the day. So the old chap turned up with the Ibiza. There we go, sold, deposit taken on the little Ibiza. Like I say, just we bought that little Volkswagen up off us in September. Traded down from an Altea, and yeah, he's just decided the up's too small. He wanted something a little bit bigger. I did say to him, you're going to lose a lot of money in 6 months. You've only done 2,000 miles. I said, you're going to lose a lot of money. He says, why, how much are you thinking of giving me for mine, like? And I said, well, you paid 4.5 for it. I said, what are you expecting? I said, I don't really want to say. I said, but what are you expecting? He said, oh, about 3 grand, I think. And I said, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's alright, he says. I said, right, okay, if you're happy with that. I said, but you've lost 1,500 quid in 6 months. Yeah, that's alright, he says, so mine plus 1,000. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, that's fine, yeah, it's a bigger car. He says, I like it, I'm happy with that. So he didn't want to take it today because it's end of month, and he didn't want to pay the tax from the beginning of the month. So he's coming back next week for it. And we've got the little Volkswagen up back in stock, so that's not a bad car to take back in, to be honest. It was serviced, it were cam belt done, 102,000 on it now, which is a bit of a shame. Not for a bad reason, it doesn't run any different than when it were on 99, but just from a saleability point of view, people will search for things under 100,000 miles. So it being just over the 100, it might just miss out on people's search criteria a little bit, but I'm sure it'll still sell. It'll be 3,995 now, which will be a nice little price bracket to drop into. I haven't heard back from the people who test drove the 500 yet, but I think they'll come back to me, if I'm honest. I'm sure they'll come back. They did like that car. No interest on that yet, which I'm surprised, because that's a lovely car. And I've just got the Qashqai back from the paint man. We've had the wheels done on that, so they're looking a lot better now. Just need a good clean up and some back to black on, but they're looking much better, much cleaner. Hoping with the new camera we get some better walk round videos and stuff, better pictures for the adverts and whatnot. So yeah, that's the story about the Ibiza. Not much else to tell you really. I only got a chance to clean that one today. I did want to get them all clean, but they're not looking too bad, to be fair. It just gets the dust on them, as you can see on sort of roof of that one. Yeah, clean. They just want jet washing off and just going over. Right, see how we get on over the weekend. I shall keep you posted. Thanks very much. Speak to you soon.